everyone. Welcome to GTM Secrets. I'm Stephen Lowisz. We talk about everything from sales to marketing to RevOps, you name it. Today, I'm intrigued. We have Kaitlin Waite here, who is a partner marketing expert. And as somebody that wants to launch my own partner marketing strategy at Identity Matrix, I find this very interesting because, frankly, I've sucked at it. Kaitlin, do you want to give a little bit of background on yourself here?
Sure. Hi to everyone. I got started in the tech space right out of college by accident, which I guess was a pretty happy accident for me. It's worked out so far. Went to a software distributor to start out, got a feel for a little bit of everything marketing, and as a result, realized I was really interested in partner marketing, thanks to some of those vendors I worked with. Got the chance to work at a DevOps company, run their partner marketing. They probably shouldn't have trusted me that much then, but as I'll get into, I think it's all about, what you can do with the relationships you build. I've been fortunate to run a few different partner marketing organizations. This is my third one at Expel over the last about 15 years. So yeah, I really enjoy it. I think I'm a glutton for punishment sometimes, but it's also really fun.
If you're not punching above your weight at any point in your career, you're doing something wrong. So I can appreciate that. Been there.
Yeah, worked out.
I'm the opposite of you. So I'm a sales guy first, marketer second. I like direct response, right? Do you want in? Do you want out? Okay, I'll move on to the next one, sort of a deal. That's not how partner marketing works. In my experience, it's who can you schmooze, how to build relationships. And don't get me wrong, I have great relationships with my clients, but I also see a direct result, right? Super impatient. So you're an expert in partner marketing. Most treat partner marketing somewhat like me. Basically, hey, sell my stuff for me and I'll give you a commission. How do you look at partner marketing?
So partner marketing and partners in general, because it's all just part of the family. By the way, I always have a dotted line to the partner org. I don't always, sit as closely to marketing as everyone else. So that's why I say partners in general. You hit the nail on the head. It's relationship based. So whether you're going to be successful or not is based on not who you know, but who you can know.
Yeah.
And developing those relationships. So, making sure that whether you're a company that's established and everyone knows your name, or you are a brand new company trying to get started with different types of partners, you've just got to be ready to build relationships and work relationships. So hiring the right people who might already know someone or can build those that they need. So if you're looking, for example, a channel program, you either have to have someone who already has established relationships or is capable of making those relationships and kind of knows a path forward. That's the battle to partners.
So if you don't mind, let's make that tactical. So first of all, at Expel, without naming names, who are the types of partners? Are they VARs? Are they MSPs? Like you guys sell monitoring or managed detection, right?
Yeah.
Who's your ideal partner?
Yeah. So obviously it depends on where you are. For Expel, our partner program is just a little bit over a year old. And when I say partner program, I mean our VAR channel partner program. Everyone kind of says reseller, VAR, channel, it's all the same. We've got an MSP program that's very, very new, getting into the ground. We've got same as an IR program, would like to have a little bit more with alliances, cloud marketplaces, things like that. When I typically say partner program, it usually starts with channel. So, and everything kind of goes off of that. And you always try to bring things back to channel. So for example, if we don't have a dedicated tech alliance partner program, I can say, well, we don't have something formal on paper, but we can always meet in the channel. So for us, that's.
Can you define how are you defining alliance? How's that different than a VAR or channel partner, whatever you want to call it?
Sure. Alliance would be vendor to vendor. So us with another vendor, if we have an integration. So that's one of the unique parts of Expel is we're a bring your own tech MDR solution. And we have a lot of different vendors in the market that actually have integrations with us. So Wiz is one of those vendors you can see on our integration list, for example, so that we can kind of plug and play. And that would be a tech alliance relationship.
Got it. Okay. Fair enough. So in partner marketing, first of all, I see two applications, right? One is the demand gen of partners, getting them interested. And then the other one would be more enablement for those partners. Are you focused on both? Are you focused on one over the other?
Both.
Okay.
So the main thing of knowing how to, in general, go to market with your partners is understanding their strengths and their weaknesses, and your strengths and your weaknesses. So sometimes for Expel, that's someone may not know who we are. There's a lot of MDR providers out there, and there's some differences, obviously, otherwise there wouldn't be so many. But sometimes it's helpful to know where we need a partner to lean in. It's helpful if we have certain partners that don't do quite as much demand gen, but they are more thought leadership, for example. That's really important on more of the demand side. On the enablement side, we have to really make sure, and this is generic to partner marketing and partner programs at any vendor, is in my opinion, I should say, you have to treat a partner like they're an extension of your internal team. And so when I say that, if you've got, I'm making this up, but to oversimplify, an hour-long training of how you go to market and how to sell your product, you've got to boil that down to a 5 to 10 minute version for your partners. Make sure that they understand it, treat them like part of your team, make sure you're there to answer any questions and go along. So what I mean by that is they've got how many other solutions they also have to sell. You've got to simplify it, got to make it easy, got to differentiate. Now, do I do that well all the time? No, I don't think anyone does. I think any partner would tell you that. I came from like I said, I started as a distributor. I've been on the other side. I don't think anyone does it perfectly because it's just the way it is and it's hard to boil things down. But I think that's the goal, at least.
Well, you're in a tough spot because you're selling technical products to somebody to sell them for you. So you better boil that down really, really well.
Along with how many other vendors, depending on the partner. It could be 10 other vendors. It could be 5,000 other vendors. Like how many technology solutions are there in the market? There's a ton. And if you just boil that down to cybersecurity, there's a ton. If you boil that down to MDR, there's still quite a few, and it's a lot of intricacies to differentiate. So
what's
that's
MD?
the challenge. Managed detection and response. So what Expel does. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Fair enough. So let's talk about the demand gen side for a second. If I go reach out, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I reached out to a competitor, and we have, this isn't meant to be a pitch, but we have 3 to 5 times better de-anonymization than they do. And that's only one of the things that they sell. So I reached out and it was basically like, hey, I know you're doing X. I love what you're building, but maybe there's a partnership in the works, right? Trying to be relationship based. Other times you reach out and it's basically like, hey, we have similar clients. Can you sell my stuff and I'll give you revenue? Like what is the actual framing of a partnership when you're doing outreach or maybe you're running ads? We'll get into that in a minute, but how do you even frame it so it doesn't just come off like, I want your clients, but I'll give you a couple bucks?
So we don't do that, I should say. So it's very different. So I would say unless you literally have no one on your team who has ever worked with a partner, which I hope no one starts a partner team that way. Let me just be honest. You're never going to start from scratch where you've got to do ads to get partners. I do get, by the way, ads for people saying like, grow your partners. I have never had a need to, and I'm saying from a marketing side, but I've seen it in the sales side of partners that like, oh no, we need to sign 5 partners this month. That is not the case. My uncle could go build a reseller partner. I'm making that up. I hope he never does that. He's not qualified. But like could build a reseller partner and based on a few relationships and probably do pretty well for themselves. There's so many different resellers. Now, if you're trying to build more of like a tech alliance program, things like that, it might be a little different. You might want to make sure that they want to partner with you because you're a well-known name, or you're, have a good NPS score with your customers, things like that. But it's on the channel side, I've never had to like run an ad or do outreach or anything. It's a lot easier, obviously, if you have a cooler product, automatically you're going to have partners coming to you. But typically the way I've seen new partners be signed is, hey, I have this customer who is looking for this solution, and we've heard that you're great. So it all comes back to that relationship piece.
So you're offering something way before you're ever asking.
Sometimes, not always. When a program's new, it's usually, hey, we worked together in the past. When you're in like cybersecurity, for example, the same group of partners. When you're in DevOps, the same group of partners. There's of course overlap, but you've got those specialized partners and you have the national partners who kind of cover everything. So there's a lot of overlap. It all comes back to relationships. But I've never seen any partner, and I'm going to knock on wood for the sake of everyone. I've never seen a partner program have a hard time finding partners unless they're not paying them or something crazy that is pretty obvious.
Got it. So let's go to my second point then anyways, and you already touched on it. So no ads, got it. Is it email? Is it LinkedIn? Is it getting intros from people you have in common? It sounds like it's typical sales methodology.
It's like sales hand-to-hand combat. So I'd say sometimes when you have a sales rep come in, they say, hey, I really liked working with this partner. Well, if you want sales bought in on a partner strategy, that's the partner you sign because they've already got a relationship. That's usually part of the battle in a partner first mentality, is making sure sales is aligned with the partner team. So that's where I'd say that's your best referral, is if someone on sales says, hey, I worked with this partner, I want to work with them again. Great. That makes your life a heck of a lot easier convincing them to use that partner. Or, hey, you have personal experience, someone on the team has personal experience. Or, like I said, that partner comes to you and says, I already got a deal in the works. Like, how do I plug you all in? I know you're great. That's what happens to us quite a bit.
Your sales cycle, like the actual end customer, I assume they're actually scheduling a demo. Like they're not just self-sign up and you're sending out affiliate links to your...
No.
Okay.
It's a process, of course, depending on the size of the customer and, what they're looking for, how much help they need, like the service level that they need. But yeah, it's not just here you go.
I gotcha. So, okay, with that, how do you actually track partner referrals? Because they're going to be very, very cautious, I assume, about attributing those deals to them, right? So they get, or whatever. Is it literally just a field in your CRM saying this person came from X? Or do you have a lot more sophisticated partner tools?
Oh, yeah. You have to, if you have a partner program without tooling, it's not going to work for you. It's going to be kind of a nightmare. So you have to have some sort of deal registration system. Now, some companies, that is a Google form that plugs into their Salesforce, and that is fine as long as you're tracking things. What I would always recommend is having a robust partner portal with deal registration either built in or third-party deal registration that single sign-ons in, and it all connects to whatever your CRM is, Salesforce, of course, so you can track everything, load in the discounts available to those partners based on your program. All of that has to be tracked. Same with a referral partner. If they don't typically do deal registration, having a referral partner system set up, if it's a little bit different, like with an IR partner, so incident response, if they're doing something like that. So you have to have the systems built based on the types of partners you have.
What are some of your favorite partner management tools, like those deal registration portals and whatnot?
Yeah, so I've used a wide range. There is everything from a portal that could take a team of 5 a year to set up, and it's very intricate and honestly like pretty cool. And you'll see some of the biggest vendors in the world use portals based that way because they have to. And then there's the cookie cutter, out of the box solutions where all you have to do is kind of change the content on the portals. And then there's the ones that I prefer that are a little bit in the middle where it's, hey, you can do cookie cutter or you can customize it to what you need. I will say the biggest thing that I recommend is always having a deal registration solution. And I'll get into kind of details of that. An enablement solution. So training mechanism in your portal, a way to co-brand things, a way to see what's happening with the materials you upload for your partners and just the ease of use there. And then the ability to scale as your partners, needs change. So if you start with just a channel program and you want to add on Tech Alliance partners and you want to make some sort of self-service portal for them to do co-marketing with you, it's going to be a completely different looking portal than what you have for channel partners. So whether it's the same portal and you have different views for different types of partners, or you say, hey, partner portal company, please duplicate what we have. Give me a nice little discount on not running two complete portals and we'll make it, a little bit separate, which is what I've done in the past. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do it based on budgets, size of the programs, what you need and what you have, and how you can scale as you get larger. But the most important thing I will say about a partner portal is you need to have a good deal registration system and make sure that that works with how you're tracking in your own CRM, how you can report out. That's my bit of advice.
I'm a RevOps nerd. Have you ever used either HubSpot or Salesforce's partner portals or communities, whatever they want to call them?
Yeah, communities. So I have never had the privilege because I've never had the budget of using Salesforce communities. I have priced it out. That is the one that you can customize literally everything. And if you are using a big vendor's portal, probably Salesforce communities, because the possibilities are endless. It's services galore, which is great if you need that. Most companies need not quite that extent, but
gotcha.
It would be delightful to use.
Yeah. Switching gears a little bit, where do your sales reps come into play with partners? So in a end customer deal, so is your partner selling your product wholly without your team ever touching it, or are they co-selling and your team's coming in?
We are a co-sell model. So we try to be involved. The best way I'd say is the earlier, the better. So the more that we can get involved and we can get the partner involved earlier. So if it's something we're working on and we know the partner has some expertise that they can contribute, then the earlier we can bring that partner in, the better, because sometimes they may know the customer better than we do because they've sold them 10 other different vendors. Earlier, the better on both, and just making sure that we're working together for the customer. That's what we try to do. That is different per vendor, by the way. I've had many that I've had to enable my partners to sell for us and to get ready for that. And it's just depending on the solution and how you sell it. So there's not always a rhyme or reason to that. It's really kind of just what works best.
Got it. Now, what does effective partnership enablement look like? When I think of it and I see some of the crappy ones that I have, partner portals, it's like, here's our logos, here's some banners, here's how you schedule with our team, and that's about it. What does that actually do, or what do you do with practicality?
So basically, there's no perfect combination of enablement. You can say, and I'm probably someone's gonna be like, why'd you say that? But campaigns in a box are a common thing that I have never had a boss above me say, I don't want campaigns in a box in my partner portal. I've never had that. I will say that I have never had a partner use a campaign in a box. Never. I have only used a campaign in a box for some of the biggest vendors that you know out there because I was told to. And you don't say no. So
Or
from a
what?
small vendor, and I shouldn't say small, but like not the giant ones where you have an incentive and things like that, campaigns in a box are one of those things that I'm never going to say are going to be a game changer. What I think are game changers for enablement are, like I was saying, like those quick fixes. So I remember the days when a lot of us were in cubicles and you'd see what the new sales reps had up in their cubicles. And it was like sales quick reference guides, like discovery questions, use cases, like the quick things that if they're on a call, they can like glance over and see. Elevator pitch, things like that. That is my top thing when I come to a new company is I try to make a sales guide for my partners. You know, usually my sales guide 6 months in is a lot better than my sales guide 2 months in. You know, having something like that that's a quick reference guide, like I was saying, taking anything that you're doing for your own sales team and boiling it down is probably your most efficient way of enabling your partners. Also making their jobs easier, whether it's like competitive battle cards that you can give to them that they can use. One of the different things that I would say I've seen be done is using competitive battle cards that are the same information you can find on a website. So they're nothing secretive so that your partners can use them and they're not just this like hidden away thing.
Yep.
They can actually be used and provided to a customer. That's a game changer. Having email templates. So a lot of partners aren't going to use them, but some might. So giving them, hey, here's some email templates of I'm announcing my new partnership with this vendor. This is why you should care. And just some like nurture emails. So sometimes they do that. They're going to do that versus a campaign in a box because they've got, outreach or they've got, different email systems and they can just copy and paste those in there and see if anyone bites. That social media that they can use on their own, things like that that are easy copy and paste materials are the best types of enablement in my book. So,
Okay, so my last question you're going to hate because there's a lot of variables.
okay.
It's going to range widely. But what is a broad range for partner commissions, whatever you want to call it, payouts in the tech world? Is it a
Oh, Lord.
50%? Is that a 50%? I assume it's somewhere between that. But can you give an overly broad range?
So I would say the best way, so I'd say it depends. So you're
Of
not going to
course.
like my answer. It depends. So a lot of companies do it in a way where if you get so if you deal register something, whether you sourced it or, I've had it done differently at every company I've worked for, by the way. If you sourced it, it's a deal reg. If you didn't source it, it's deal reg. Everything has to be deal reg. So if you deal reg it, that adds 1% of a discount. If it's a source, like if we didn't know about it, that adds another percentage. So I have seen in my personal like vendors I've worked with, and that's hundreds over my time from being a distributor, 2.5% of just flat renewal, like making sure it comes back in, not doing anything but pushing paper, to 40% discount.
Okay.
So that's the discount, obviously. So a little different than a commission or something like that, but that's how it works on the partner side. It's the percentage discount.
So they're buying it from you. They're truly reselling it. They're buying it from you at a strong discount and then giving it to their customer. Got it.
Right. That's, the reseller way of doing things.
Got it. Okay. This is super helpful. Again, at Identity Matrix, we're trying to build out a partner strategy. I'm sure a lot of people will get a lot of value out of this. I know you're going to say LinkedIn, Kaitlin, but where's the best place people can reach you?
Yeah, LinkedIn is the best. Honestly, that's where I try to post the most. You can always find out about Expel and our partner program on expel.com, but I think it's LinkedIn/Kaitlin Waite. So
Okay.
it's easy.
/in/Kaitlin.
Yeah, I was one of the beginning ones, so I actually get to use my real name, which is surprising. But
I have a unique Polish name, so do I, but I feel ya. No, again, super helpful. Definitely go reach out to Kaitlin. You said that you're launching an MSP program.
Yep, we've launched with one partner so far, but yes, that'll be next on the horizon, a little bit more official.
We'll have to talk offline, but I may have another.
Okay. All right.
Well, I appreciate it, Kaitlin. Thank you so
Yeah, of
much.
course. Thanks, Stephen.